What's going on, guys? Joseph Lombard, a.k.a. Into4, with Zachary Lombard, a.k.a. Magnum 5.
Hello.
And welcome to another Lombard Bros talk show right here on the Lombard Bros Gaming YouTube channel. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday afternoon, Monday evening, wherever you are right now. And hopefully Monday was better for some of you NASCAR fans because we had a race today instead of yesterday because of the weather. But they raced at the Monster Mile today, and hope some of you guys got to watch the race earlier today. At the end of it, it was Martin Truex Jr. getting his second win of the season, and now now we're here doing this talk show. Jagger?
Hello?
Yeah, is this Jagger?
Yes, this is.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Not much. How are you? Good?
Doing good.
Doing pretty well. First off, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I want to thank you for taking the time today, buddy. I know I talked to you before, did an interview with you before I went to Irwindale, but I thought I'd do one again for you here. So, well, first off, Jagger, what's been going on with you recently? I know you got a K&N race coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I actually just got back from Mexico this weekend. I was down there racing Nora 1000. So I was down there all last week in Baja, and that it was pretty awesome. It was a great event. We actually broke, unfortunately, on the fourth day out of 5 days of racing. But now that I've got back, I mean, this week just all focus towards Saturday night in Tucson for the K&N race.
Awesome, man. Well, I do want to have these fans that are watching right now give a chance to know more about you. I know I did like an interview with you before, but for the people that does not know, so how did you get involved in racing, and who was your inspiration to get started?
Yeah, so ever since I was really little, even since I was born, I've been around racing. My grandpa was Deley Jones, who has been racing for many of decades, and he actually won the Indy 500 back in 1963, and then he inspired or kind of influenced my uncle and my dad to get into racing. And then my dad, PJ, has raced everything from NASCAR, IndyCar, off-road, sports cars. So since I was little, I was just with my dad, my uncle, my grandpa. I've just been around the racetrack, and I would say my whole family, my uncle, my dad, and my grandpa have kind of been my inspirations. I've really looked up to everything they've done and then all that they've taught me, and it's really inspired me to become a race car driver. And so now I'm just trying to live out my dream.
Awesome, man. Well, this is your first year in the K&N series, your rookie year, but you've done many late model races as well. When did I would say how has the K&N how has the K&N been for you so far? Like, has it been enjoyable? And what are you looking forward to before the season's over? Like, what are you wanting to, obviously every driver wants to go out there and win races and championships, but what other goals do you have in mind that you want to accomplish before this season's over?
Yeah, so like you said, last year or the last 2 years, I've been racing late models. Even before that, I've been racing since I was about 9. I raced go-karts, and then I moved to Legends, then to late models for the last 2 years. And then this year is my first year in the K&N series. So it's been a pretty good transition, I would say. I almost won the very first race out in Vegas, ended up finishing second. And then Irwindale, we didn't run amazing, but we ran pretty well. I was able to get a top 5, finish 4th. So that was a decent night for my first pavement race in the K&N. So I think it's been a really good start, good transition. I'm just looking forward to kind of getting more comfortable in the car, learning a little bit more about the differences between a late model, the heavier car, the different tires, the longer races, all of that kind of stuff. So still wouldn't say I'm perfected anything yet, but definitely have had a good season so far. And like you said, for what you asked about my goals, so of course, I want to go out and win races, and I think I even have a good chance to win the championship. I'm a rookie. I don't have a ton of experience in the series, but I think if I can just continue to learn and continue to improve from where we started the season, I'm sitting third in points right now, only 2 points behind first. So I think I've got a good shot at that. And I'm not just going to go out there in points race, though. I want to win. The more wins, the better. That's my main goal. And then also Rookie of the Year would be pretty cool. So if I could just knock off 3 or 4 wins, that would be pretty awesome for a rookie season.
Right on. So you mentioned about the transition between the late model and a stock car. So what has been the challenges between the two cars, driving a late model and a K&N car? Any challenges to the transition?
There's been, I wouldn't necessarily say challenges, but definitely things to adjust to. A late model, it's less horsepower, a little bit of a lighter car, so you really got to keep your momentum up versus the K&N car. You're going faster at the end of the straightaway, so you have to use more brakes getting into the corner because you really don't have much more grip than a late model, I'd say. So you got to use a lot of brakes, but the less, like pretty much all of racing goes, the less brakes, the better. So the less heat in the brakes, less heat in the front tires. So just kind of working on using as little brakes as possible to get the car slowed down and really roll the corner speed, considering the faster entry speeds into the corner. That has been something I've been working on with my braking and just little stuff like that. The K&N car you feel like more of a race car, in my opinion, than a late model. The late model, of course, it's a race car, but the K&N car, it's louder, it's got more horsepower. It really just feels it's a really cool car to drive.
Awesome. Well, I do. So, what has been the reputation and the respect you gained from your race team with Sunshine Ford? God, I don't know why I always say Sunrise or Sunshine for a reason. But what has been how has working with that team good for you, and what kind of relationship have you gained, and what kind of respect you gained from the race team?
Yeah, for sure. So when I came to the team, we kind of worked out this deal only a couple months ago, probably 3 months ago or so. So they definitely knew who I was from my family history a little bit. My dad raced against my crew chief, Bill Sedgwick, a little bit in the past, so he's known him from that. But as a driver, they didn't really know me. They saw that I've won a lot of races at a lot of late model races, but that doesn't mean too much to them. Got to kind of prove to your new team that you can drive. And I think they may have a little doubt in the beginning, kind of not even doubt, just a little uncertainty of what I could achieve in the cars. But I think going out there in Vegas, almost getting them a win, my very first start in the K&N series, kind of set a pretty good example of what I could achieve. And then going out and finishing fourth, that was also a good night, considering we missed a little bit with the setup, and also just all of that. And then just developing a good relationship with my crew chief, Bill, the owner, Bob, and all the guys on the team, and my spotter, Ryan, of course. That's always really important. And I think so far we've come very far from the beginning of the season in only 2 races. But just to improve that relationship between all of them, and then just go out there, do the best I can. I think that'll just breed good results, and that'll just really help the relationship between all of us. So
obviously 2 races is in the books for you already this season. You guys are heading out to Tucson this weekend. Who have you been? You and your team been watching the other drivers and the other teams on how they get around the racetrack? Are you learning from them as well, or are you guys just doing your own thing? Hopefully it works out. And who do you think is your biggest competition that you're going to be facing this year?
Yeah, so of course you try to focus on your own program, because what you have the most influence into and the most important to make you go run fast. But you definitely pay attention to some of the other competition, as much as sometimes you don't want to, and sometimes it helps. But I think if we can just focus on ourselves, getting our cars the best we can, and really focusing on maximizing our stuff, will give us the best results. But of course, you got to pay attention to all the Bill McNally cars. They have good cars, good drivers. They're really on probably our biggest competition, I'd say. And but there's also other guys that can win, especially at Tucson. Like you guys saw Cody Vanderwall go out and win both races there last year. So with the whole Tucson deal, I need to go watch or I've been watching some video and from the races last year and the ones prior. So that's always really important. Learn from the best guys in those races, see what they did, try to duplicate that myself, because I've actually never been to Tucson before and I've never raced there. So it'll definitely be a little learning curve on Friday night in practice, but I don't think it'll be too tricky. It's a pretty general, pretty normal track. So, yeah, there's definitely competition. I think Derek and Haley will be really good. They'll be pretty consistent, pretty fast, just about every racetrack. And then my teammate Trevor, he's going to be hard to beat. He ran really well at Irwindale, and he's got a season under his belt. So, yeah, those guys for sure.
Sounds good. Well, I do want to give my viewers a chance to ask you some questions, and I'm going to read them out to you. So, fans, if you guys have any questions for Jagger, feel free to comment in the chat, and I will read them out to him. But if you guys want to follow Jagger Jones on his social media, he's got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's right there in the chat. You guys can check it out, follow him, keep up with him in his racing career. So obviously we do got a question here. Obviously, I already know how you got involved in racing and stuff, but when at what moment, I would say, did you wanted to be a race car driver? Like did somebody, obviously, did your grandfather, somebody really got you into it, or did you get the interest in it yourself?
Yeah, I always showed interest in cars and racing. When I was little, like 5, from the age of about 4 or 5, I'd always sit there, watch all the NASCAR races from start to finish, and so I always showed a huge interest in racing. And then I think I was about 6 when I got my first go-kart, and I liked it, but I wasn't like too into it. And we went out about once a month and went and just drove, didn't do any racing. And then I was about 9, or I think it was my 9th or 9th birthday. My dad bought me a new go-kart, a faster, like the next size up for my age. And I went out, he bought it, and he's like, all right, there's a race on Saturday. Should we enter? Should we do it here at my local track in Phoenix? And of course I was up for that. And then I went out there, I raced. I didn't do very well. I think I got lapped actually my very first race, but it was only like my second time driving that kart. But from there on, we started practicing more, going to the track more, and I really loved it. And then within the next couple months, I think I won my very first regional karting race. So it was about in that area when I about 9, 10, when I really was like, all right, this is what I want to do.
So what is your favorite racetrack that you've ever competed on, or like your favorite track racing-wise that obviously you have not raced on, but you would hopefully love to race there eventually?
I would say my favorite oval track that I've gone to would be Kern. I just like the high speeds, the banking, kind of the elevation change, and how you feel like you're going downhill going into turn 3. It's a really cool racetrack. Other tracks that stand out to me, I think the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is such a historic place. I could not mention that. I think I've been to the Indy 500 a couple times, and just going there, watching the race takes your breath away. So I'd love to race there one day. And then I also went to I went and raced in Europe for 2 years in go-karts, and I went to a lot of cool tracks over there, like the kart track at Le Mans, a lot of tracks in Italy. Those tracks are super nice. They've got like full restaurants at the racetrack. They're pretty crazy for go-kart tracks. So I think pretty much there's no bad racetracks. If you're at a racetrack, it's a good time. It's pretty awesome. So, but those are the ones that stand out to me.
Awesome. Well, all right. Next question. Does your father still race today, or is he retired and basically he's just working with you now?
He actually does still race. Like, he went last week like I said before, we went down and raced. I raced in Mexico for the NORA 1000 race. He raced another car. He actually ended up winning. So he won the NORA 1000 in the UTV class last week. So he does a lot of off-road racing still. He does a lot of that. He races some stadiums, the Robbie Gordon Stadium super trucks. He does a little bit of that still, but he doesn't do too much more NASCAR or any of that racing, but he's still pretty involved in the off-road scene.
Awesome. Well, Jagger, before you go, first off, I do appreciate the time you're taking today to be on our show and letting the fans know more about you. And but last question I got to ask you, is there anybody you got to thank for your racing career and your opportunities?
Yeah, for sure. Just all my friends and family, for sure. They've done so much for me, helping me out as much as they can. And especially to Bob Rincati for the opportunity he gave me at Sunrise Ford. That means a lot to me that he believed in me to put me in one of his K&N cars. So that's been really cool. And then my crew chief, Bill, for everything he does. My spotter, Ryan Partridge. My mom, my dad. And then all my sponsors and supporters from XYO Network. If you guys haven't heard of them, go check them out. Really cool company. They're doing a lot of cool things. Method Race Wheels, best off-road wheels, Easy Cut CNC, Alpine Stars, Arai helmets, and just everyone else that's helped me.
Awesome. Well, Jagger, I do appreciate the time you took today to be on the show. I thank you for that. And good luck to you this weekend out in Tucson, Arizona. I will be out there this weekend for the races, and definitely I'll stop by and say hello to you out there too. But other than that, like I said, best of luck to you this weekend. I'll see you out there on Saturday, and good luck in the race.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show, and I'll see you there this weekend.
Yeah, take care, man.
All right, you too. Bye.
Jagger Jones, the rookie driver of the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West for Sunrise Ford Racing in number 6 car. He said he finished second out in Vegas in his first race, and then his second race ever in Irwindale, he finished 4th. So I'll be out there this weekend to watch him race, but also watch the entire race, watch the other drivers go out there and compete Saturday night out in Tucson. But I do want to thank him for taking the time today, and best of luck to him this weekend out in Tucson. I see. Well, I think that's going to end the talk show today, huh?
Yep.
All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in today. Hope you guys enjoyed this Lombard Bros talk show right here on the Lombard Bros Gaming YouTube channel. Next Monday, our next guest is going to be Trevor Huddleston. He is also a NASCAR K&N Pro West Series driver, and he's also Jagger Jones' teammate as well. He's going to be joining us next week, guys, so we'll have him on. But thank you guys for tuning in today. Hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Joseph Lombardi, Kia N2SC4. With Zachary Lombardi, Kia Magnum 5. You have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.